Being black, it's just it's what it is. It's always going to be a challenge at every angle for a black man. A challenge with just today, society, government, people, relationships, work. Everything is going to be a challenge. And it's by systematic design. But the ugliest thing in my heart is seeing black people try to destroy each other when we, as black people, are the least amount of people in the United States that has had any growth and development in our population. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to get to the numbers. I'm going to show you the numbers. But this right here, this is 50 Cent. I find it disgusting that 50 Cent is doing what he's doing. And this image, Stop Cooning, I had a person tell me he's not cooning. And this was a white person. And it's just unfortunate that it's not seen, you know. And a lot of people look at what black people do to each other as just a form of entertainment. And the reason that they do that is because slavery had to be reinvented for this government to still make money. Sports is slavery. Football players, basketball players, actors, they get all this money, okay? And the government hits them with a 50% tax, okay? And then in addition to that, they make sure that all their kids are destroyed so there's no generational wealth. Will Smith kids, destroyed. Magic Johnson, destroyed. Michael Jordan, destroyed. I can go down the list. So I wrote this up aimed at 50 and whoever. And I ain't no big celebrity, but if 50 Cent caught wind of this, you know, I don't know, maybe he'll try to throw me under the bus like he do everybody else. But I'm not attacking him. I'm letting him know what he's doing, which I already know he knows, but he don't give a fuck because for him, it's about the dollar. And the dollar that he's making is not coming from his own people. So I wrote, Stop Coonin. Cooning is a derogatory slang term that comes from an old racist stereotypes. People use it to describe when a black person is seen as acting against their own community's best interests just to get approval, money, or acceptance from outsiders, usually white people. It's similar to calling someone a sellout, but harsher, because it ties back to racist caricatures used to mock black people during slavery and Jim Crow. Too often, we see people who are quick to tear down their own community just to get a pat on the back, a paycheck, or some approval from outsiders. That's not strength, that's betrayal. When you put down your own people, ignore the struggles we face, or use stereotypes to get laughs or attention, you're not helping anybody. You're just feeding into the same systems that held us back in the first place. Real power is lifting your people up, telling the truth about what we go through, and standing proud in who you are. Our ancestors didn't survive slavery, Jim Crow, and everything else just for us to turn around and be the ones doing the tearing down. If you really want to shine, do it with integrity. Don't sell out your own people. I think that was really clear and to the point. We should not be tearing down us. Let somebody else do it. That's where it's supposed to come from. Let somebody else do it, not us. Our numbers are low. And what I mean by numbers is by systematic design on what this government has been doing to Black people. And, you know, receipts, that's what people speak on, bringing receipts. So I want to share this with y'all and show you, and not just, fill you with words. And when I say black people should not be attacking each other, our numbers are low by systematic design, it's the truth. So I want you to see these numbers, and I'm going to read them to you, okay? And by systematic design, the population of black people in the United States in the 1920s was 9%. In 1920, it was 9%. By 1972, it was 11%. Black people occupied the population of the United States. 11% of the United States was black people. By 2025, today, it's 12%. 53 years, black people population has risen 1%. That's by systematic design of the United States and what they do to black people. Abortions, jail, murder, all kind of stuff. 1% over 53 years. You got to be a fool to think that's not by systematic design. White people in 1920, white people occupied 90%. Remember, black people was 9% in 1920. White people in the 1920s was 9%. By 1972, they were 83%. It's going down. By 2025, today, they're at 57%. This has been going on for a long time. And this is why this government is nervous as fuck, because they see the decline in white Americans. Germany, I think it was Germany, was paying people to have babies. The United States is going through a big transition. The population of Hispanic Latino people in the United States in the 1920s was 1%. 1%. By 1972, it was 4%. It went up 3%. By 2025, today, it's at 20%. 20% of the United States is occupied by Latino, Hispanic. 57% of that 20% is Mexican, okay? The population of the Hispanic Latino is growing rapidly fast. And this government is doing everything they can to figure out the best way to handle this. And that's why you see most of the cops you see now, cops and sheriffs, they're Hispanic. They have to find this. I'm probably going to say too much. They have to find those Hispanics who don't like Mexicans and they don't like black people. And they more lean towards wanting to be white. If you in the law enforcement and you seeing this, if you think I'm shooting shots at you, you personally know I'm not. But if you got common sense, I know you know that I know what I'm saying is more right than wrong. So this government is doing everything it can to figure out how to deal with the rise of Hispanics in the United States and the decline of white people in the United States. But they got the system on lock how to deal with black people. Look at those numbers. Only 1% growth in population for black people over the past 53 years. That ain't no joke. Those are real numbers. And Black people in the United States account for over a third of the prison population. Over a third of the prison population. And like I said, this government has to figure out a way to keep slavery going. If you look it up, once somebody goes to prison, in its words, it is 100% equal to slavery. These people work for pennies, and everything about their life is now in control by the government. They get a slave name, which is a number. And fed the worst stuff you can eat. And that's why a lot of cats who coming out of prison eventually end up with cancer. So that's what I wanted to share with you on that. And I hope you can retain this. And I strongly advise you, go do your own research. Go look stuff up. Do your research. And this has nothing to do with shaming white people. I don't have nothing against nobody's color. I just have something against somebody's energy and ignorance if it's aimed at me. I grew up around whites, Mexicans, blacks, some Asians, whoever, Middle Easterns, whoever. And everybody got their own swag. And I wasn't even brought up to feel that I was better than anybody else. I was brought up to have pride and respect for myself. And if somebody feels intimidated by that, that's your parents' fault for raising a chump.